Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive, but you guys, week 10 of the UCL, the St. Louis Rampardos sitting at a nice 8-1 in first place of the UCL, taking on the second place Bronx Beartics and the absolutely amazing battler Joey PokeaimMD, one of my good pals. So I'm really excited for this battle. I've never had a chance to play Joey, and truthfully, I'm actually a big fan. I've watched Joey for years now on YouTube, and now that I'm in the Pokemon YouTubing community, it's really cool to have a chance to play him. So of course, I'm wishing him the best of luck, and I hope you guys will do me the favor of checking out Joey's channel as well, which is always in the comments section or in the description below. And if you want to show your love on that like button down below as well, that'd be great. We're trying to power up our way to 1,500 likes, head smash our way to 1,500 likes. I got our brand new St. Louis Rampardos shirt on, but it is not available just yet. I'll be announcing when those are available very soon. And we do have a question of the day really quickly. There are 4 teams out of the 16 teams that are going to make the playoffs in the UCL. With this match aside, who are the 4 teams that you think are going to make it? And we'll come back to this video in the comments section below in a couple weeks, and we'll find out who actually makes it. But yeah, I'm going to hit up Joey on Skype really quick. We're going to connect and get this battle started. And of course, if you missed the pregame press conference, you can check it out on the screen in the annotation right there. And don't forget to subscribe if you are new. Thank you so much for checking out my video. Let me jump right into things here, and fingers crossed, let's do this. Alright guys, so we are connected here with Joey and the Bronx Beartics. We're going to see what his team is here. You can see what I'm predicting his team to be on the screen. I think he's definitely bringing the Manaphy. I think the Tornadus is definitely coming. I think the Reuniclus is coming too, which isn't on the screen, but that's just because I didn't know what he was going to bring, honestly. I feel like he's probably going to bring that Reuniclus. He does. He brings the Rhydon. He brings the Audino, which I never expected. No Ampharos. But he does bring the Rhydon, he brings the Solosis, or the, whatever that thing's called, the hard body. So let me update the screen here with his Rhydon. Not too surprised about that. He does bring the Amoonguss, so that Rhydon might be a reliable check to my Metagross, probably. So we got Reuniclus, we got Weavile. No Dougie, though, which is nice. What's his last mon? Audino. Really random to see the Audino, but I did bring Conk, so I, like, stand right in front of that thing and say, hey, don't care about your life. So let's think about this. He doesn't bring, oh, he didn't bring Tornadus. Whoa, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. So we got Amoonguss as well. I think I have to put that on the layout. Is that what I'm missing? Okay, we got Amoonguss. I got everything on the layout. Let me just make a note of his team here. He's got Manaphy, Audino, no Tornadus though. He's got Weavile, Reuniclus, Rhydon, and Amoonguss. So I'm expecting him to potentially lead with that Rhydon. I think that means I need to get zDrive in there as soon as possible, or I could potentially go with Oxygen and try to get off a Scald right away to kind of keep him from wanting to set up his own rocks. That might be a good idea. Actually, I kind of like that idea, so let's do that. Let's lead with Oxygen here. I want to get my rocks up, but I do think he's going to lead with his Rhydon, to be perfectly honest, and I think that I have a pretty good opportunity to potentially get rid of those rocks right away, or at least hurt his Rhydon pretty significantly right away. I am a physically defensive Vaporeon, so I know I can take anything from a Rhydon regardless. So we'll see what he's going to lead with. This is a very important lead matchup. He brought a lot of different Pokemon I wasn't expecting. He leads with Zeph, which is actually his Weavile, which is a great situation for me. He was probably predicting my Golurk lead. He does lead with his Weavile, so I might be able to scout kind of what Weavile this is. Now, there is absolutely no chance that he is staying in with this Weavile, in my opinion, but I do feel like the Scald is the best play, because if he goes into Audino, I might be able to burn it. I could take a nice little double here and try to go into Conk, which might not be a bad play, but I do want to play safe right off the bat. I'm going to go for the Scald. Not going to overpredict anything. If he decides to stay in and try to get a knockoff off, that could be fine. I am carrying the Rocky Helmet, though, and this Vaporeon is designed to take on this Weavile. So, because he did not bring that Mega Audino, or I'm sorry, the Mega Ampharos, Golurk is not as important. Raikou is also freely able to Volt Switch now. I don't have to worry so much about the Dugtrio potentially trapping me. Kecleon doesn't have too much use, but it does have the knockoff, which could be good to get rid of leftovers, Eviolite, potentially an item on his hard body. So he's going to switch out probably into Audino. No, you go straight into the Reuniclus here, and I might be able to see what kind of set this thing is, especially if I get a burn off. If I get a burn off, that'd be really nice, because then it would kind of tell me what kind of set he's running. Do about 30% and the burn. We'll see if it does damage or not, and it does not. So we know he's got Magic Guard, I think it's called. And I do want to calc this on Reuniclus, because he has been known to run his, like, Calm Mind, Trick Rooming sets, and so on and so forth. It looks like that That did about on the high end of what a bulky Reuniclus would take. So he is about 70% on this Reuniclus. I'm going to say 70%, and of course burn. The burn doesn't do anything, but what it does do is it gives me an opportunity. Do I burn again? Do I go for another? I think that would be dumb of me to go for another Scald. I think my best play here is, what does he do to me? He goes for Psychic, he could go for Psyshock, he could Toxic me, which is fine. I'm going into Cyborg here. I am Assault Vested, and because he didn't bring the Ampharos, my Golurk need is less important, I suppose, and I can Shadow Punch this thing. Actually, nothing on his team really wants to take a Shadow Punch, so we'll see what he's going to do here. Maybe a Toxic or something. He goes for Psychic, actually, and we are Assault Vest, so I'm going to eat this up. I'm curious to see how much this does. That is... Oh, he gets a crit! Ouch! Was that Specs damage? Was that Specs damage? I am Assault Vest, dude. That was Specs damage. He might not know. That was... I think that was Specs. I think that had to be, dude. That did so much. Choice Specs Psychic does 50... That's Specs damage, I think. I think that's Specs. I'm gonna make a note here that he might be Specs. Specs question mark. That did a lot. He could be Mind Plate. But I'm free to Shadow Punch if I want to. Now that I know he's not defensive, I could also Drain Punch the switch of the Audino, which I think is probably the better play here. Well, actually, I could Drain Punch the Audino regardless. Maybe I should Shadow Punch. He's got really nothing that wants to come out of Shadow Punch. So let's go for Shadow Punch. If he goes to Audino, I Drain Punch it. So, I can get a lot of damage off in this thing. He doesn't have the Regenerator, so big crit there. But I do believe that this thing might be Specs. So, he's probably carrying Psychic, maybe HP Fire, HP Ground, probably Focus Blast. But if he had Psyshock, man, that would have done so much. He doesn't really have a good switch into a Shadow Punch, because if Audino comes in, I don't know what Audino's base speed is, but either way, Audino can't do anything to me, and I'm free to go for Drain Punch, which will do a good amount, 60%. He could knock off if he has Audino. I do outspeed Audino unless he has Speed Investment. So... he doesn't really have a good switch in here. He could go into Amoonguss. If he goes into Amoonguss, I Shadow Punch, then Ice Punch. Gotta keep an eye on this damage. 83%, that is his Amoonguss. Shiny Amoonguss. So I know I could take a Giga Drain as well from this thing. Here comes the Shadow Punch. It does about... that does a good amount. It does a good amount. We might be able to kill this thing with Ice Punch, actually. Let me check. Amoonguss. Let's say he's defensive. How much would my Shadow Punch have done? Because that did have a solid 40%. Yeah, he's specially defensive. He's specially defensive. Ice Punch kills. I'm going for Ice Punch. He might think I'm like, Bandit or something. I'm going for Ice Punch. Maybe we can kill this thing right off the bat here. That'd be nice. We're putting a lot of pressure on him with Cyborg, which is nice. That crit was huge, but I do have the ability to Drain Punch as well. Nothing in his team wants to take an Ice Punch. Manaphy can come in, but then I just go to Vaporeon. Or I go to Raikou to take the hit, actually. Raikou's a good switch into Manaphy now that his Rhydon, he doesn't have Dugtrio. Stay in. Stay in, man. That did a lot. This, I think it's like special defensive. But of course he does have the Regenerator, so he'll be able to get this damage off. I don't want to overpredict here. I could overpredict, but Manaphy's a bit risky. I don't think he would risk Manaphy at this point. And actually, once I get rid of Rhydon, Raikou puts in the work, but I do think that Reuniclus is Specs, and that's scary. That's very scary. We do have some answers, though. Let's see what he goes into. Hopefully not Manaphy. He goes into the Manaphy. Okay. So we'll be able to do some damage to this thing. And I do think I need to keep Cyborg. This thing can put a lot of pressure on him already. It does nothing. But we get the Freeze Hacks! Oh my goodness. Wow. But he's got lefties. Okay. So the Freeze Hacks doesn't really matter on a Manaphy because he could have Scald. He does show the leftovers, meaning he doesn't have a berry. I'm going into Vaporeon here. No, I'm going to Raikou. I'm going to Raikou. I could go to Conk. He's lefties. He has to Scald to break out. Conk could come in and take any hit, and I could take a Psychic. I could fire off a Drain Punch, which would do a good amount. The Amoonguss doesn't want to come in and take a Drain Punch. The Reuniclus doesn't even want to take a Drain Punch, or a Knockoff, really. I could actually knock off on the switch. Sabertooth comes in, takes a hit. He has to Scald. He has to Scald. Vaporeon is my switch, but Vaporeon's my switch, but it can't do anything back to him. So it's just setup fodder. I'm going into Hercules here. I'm going to Conk. He has to Scald to get rid of the freeze, because it'll get rid of the freeze. And if he's not carrying Psychic, Conk actually could put in some work here, because I am Assault Vest, max special defense. So we'll see if he goes for the Scald. Looks like he does not. He does not go for the Scald, so he's going to stay frozen here. And I'm able to get a free knockoff here if I want to on anything, really, which could be pretty useful. I could go for the Drain Punch. He's not going into Reuniclus, but he might go into Amoonguss. So I'm going to go for the Drain Punch because we should outspeed Amoonguss, I would guess. Conkeldur's base 45. Amoonguss, I'm sure, is a little lower than that. And I can get rid of whatever item he has. Amoonguss is base 30 speed, so I'm gonna go for the knockoff here. Worst case scenario, we get rid of his leftovers. He is still frozen, obviously, and who knows how long he will stay frozen. He might not actually even have Scald. He might be carrying the Surf instead, which could be interesting. And he might have been fearing the Vaporeon coming in, I'm not sure. But at least we know he's leftovers. And I do feel bad about the freeze. Kind of, I guess, a little payback for the crit. I don't know. Still kind of unfortunate. You never want to hacks the nonsense out of someone this early in a match, or ever really, but that's Pokemon. He's going to switch, so we're getting a knockoff off on something. Hopefully it's Hard Body. He's going to go into Aim, which I think is the Rhydon. It is. We're going to get rid of this thing's Eviolite. That's good. And I'm curious if without its Eviolite, if a Drain Punch kills him from here. And what does Rhydon do back to me? That is the question. He's going to get Rocks up, but if he doesn't have an Eviolite, what does he do back to me? Nothing. He doesn't do anything back. You get rid of his Eviolite, and I do outspeed. Drain Punch is a 2-hit KO. So I'm going for Drain Punch. Ice Punch is not a 2-hit KO. Do I think he's going in? It doesn't matter. It's 2-hit KO either way. I'm going for Ice Punch just in case he switches. I'm going to reveal the Ice Punch in case he goes into Amoonguss, which I doubt he will. But there's always the chance. So let me make a note that Manaphy is frozen as well. Frozen. He's going to stay in. He's going to take this Ice Punch here. He might get his Rocks up. I'm not too worried about that, though. He's gonna go for his Rocks. Okay, so he shows the Rocks, he gets his Rocks up. Not a big deal. Rocks are gonna be here to stay. My team doesn't mind Rocks too much, so I have just showed him the Ice Punch. He is not going in to... What do I think he's going into? He could be real and go into Manaphy. Or he just sacks this thing off. Ice Punch is my play. Because Weavile can't come in. Manaphy is his best switching, but it's frozen. I'm going for Ice Punch. Because I don't want to go for Drain Punch and have Reuniclus come in. He's going to stay in. I think we're going to get this kill. I think Rhydon's going down here. And it does. So Conk picks up the first kill of the match. Not bad at all. Conk kills Rhydon with Ice Punch. Reuniclus is coming in, and it is Specs. That's that. I have to determine whether I think Conk is valuable enough to keep in here. But if he goes for Psychic, I go to Raikou. I'm thinking the Reuniclus coming in. But I'm actually faster than Reuniclus. So he can't go into Reuniclus right now. He can't go into Weavile. It dies to Mach Punch. Audino gets absolutely demolished. And Amoonguss doesn't want to take Ice Punches. And I can knock off the Amoonguss. Here comes the Reuniclus, but is Reuniclus taking a knockoff? He's got Colbur Berry, doesn't he? He's got to have Colbur Berry. I feel like that's it. Oh, I thought he was Specs, though. I feel like he's Specs. Do I take a Specs Psychic? Is that a dumb question? There's a chance. There's a chance if he's modest Specs, I can live a Specs Psychic. Knockoff does kill from this range. Do I think he's Colbur Berry? Do I think he's Specs? That damage he did with the crit. Let me look. Let's look. We have some time here. Golurk is 61 out of 164. So Golurk is sitting at 37%. So crits do 1.5% of the damage. So if he was Choice Specs for Reuniclus, he was doing 47 to 50%. So let's say 50%. So he was doing 75%. Maybe he's not Specs, actually. Maybe he is just modest max special attack. At which point, if he does have the Colbur Berry, I am pretty free here to just fire off a hit. But what does Reuniclus do to Metagross if I go into Metagross right now? What does he do to me? This is a little risky if I go into Metagross. Reuniclus is Focus Blast. I don't really care about that. Reuniclus. I have to make a decision here. I got 29 seconds. Reuniclus gets some Psychic moves, which are 4 times resisted. He has to. What else does it get? It gets Fire Punch, but that's not going to do anything. All right, I'm going into Metagross. I'm going into Metagross here. Going into the zDrive. I feel like I can take a hit from this thing. If he has Psycho Shift, pro plays. I see what he's going to do. If he goes for the Psychic, that would be perfect. We'll see what he's gonna do here. He goes for a Psychic. Perfect. See how much this does. We're down at 155. We're gonna go down to 121. Did a good amount, dude. That does a good amount. Metagross versus Reuniclus. How much should the Psychic have done? I'm trying to figure out what this thing is, but I know he's offensive. I know he's specially offensive. I just can't really quite tell. So he just did about 30 HP to me. I don't think he specs, I really don't. Does Meteor Mash kill though from here? It has a chance to kill. I think I just click Mega Evolve and Meteor Mash, dude. Nothing in his team wants to take it. Manaphy can come in, but I outspeed it. I can Zen Headbutt it next turn. We're clicking Meteor Mash, dude. This is Metagross at its finest. His switch in here is what? Audino? Blunder? What's Blunder? It's Audino. Is Audino gonna take two Meteor Mashes right now though? Audino does get Flamethrower, but what does Audino do for a Meteor Mash? What does Audino do for a Meteor Mash? I hit it, we connect. How much is this gonna do? Is he fully physically offensive? That does a good amount. He's got lefties. That did a good amount though. I'm free to go into Conk and put pressure back on him again. There's no reason for me to stay in here. We're going to Conk Helder. If he T-Waves, that's fine. Conk can take that. If I had Hammer Arm, I'd actually kill him here, but I don't. So we're going to go to Hercules here because Metagross puts a lot of pressure on his team, and I think Hercules is our best play. He does have the leftovers on Audino. Leftovers. And he's got Regenerator. He's got 2 Regenerator pokes because Reuniclus isn't running Regenerator this time. With Scott Magic Guard, obviously. I could easily stay in and fire off another Meteor Mash, but this is definitely physically offensive Audino, so we knew that already, though. So my switch into Conk here is pretty obvious. It is pretty obvious, but I also could potentially Meteor Mash again, so I don't know if he's in a situation to take a chance right now with Reuniclus. And switch it back in, to be honest. And I have a good check for Weavile. Vaporeon's a good check for Weavile. I would like to get my rocks up, because he does have this leftovers and things like that. But if I can get Conk in here against this Audino, even if he wishes, I can freely knock off, and nothing in his team wants to take it. Now that Rhydon's gone, which is nice. Conk puts in a lot of work if I can get rid of that Reuniclus, but I do think he might be Colbur Berry. So we're gonna find out if he stays in or not. He can't do anything to Conk. The only thing he can do is T-Wave me, really. He might have Flamethrower, but he's gonna go for the T-Wave. That's fine. I'm Guts boosted, so it doesn't bother me. And I do have the ability to get rid of that. I do have the ability to get rid of that with Heal Bell later. So I do need to hit through this right now. I need to hit through this, and I need to be able to hit a knockoff right now. This is a very important knockoff. This is a very important knockoff. I have to hit through this. He's gonna Protect. So he's Protect. He's Protect Thunderwave. He sees my knockoff, so he knows what I'm going for. That's fine. I'm going for knockoff, dude. That's it. I'm clicking knockoff. I want to get rid of this leftovers in this thing. I don't want this thing sitting in front of me with lefties. Going for the knockoff again. That's all I'm clicking. I'm clicking knockoff. We just got to knock. He's got Wish, so he shows Wish, Protect, Thunderwave. Not surprised. Not surprised. If I can get rid of its leftovers, though, that would be very nice. We do get the knockoff off. We are Guts boosted. That does a tremendous amount of damage. And now he might try to pass that Wish. I'm going to go for the knockoff again, because there's really no reason for me not to. He does show the Protect. That's fine. But this thing is just Protect stalling me, trying to get the fully para. He gets it, but doesn't matter because it's a Protect, so nothing I can do there. Now here's when I Drain Punch. I'm definitely Drain Punching this time. If he switches, it's fine. He's going to go for the Wish again. He's really, really asking to get critically hit here, to be perfectly honest. We're going to hit the Drain Punch. This might kill him. I am Guts boosted. Oh, baby, Hercules. Hercules. Conk kills Audino with Drain Punch. And Hercules putting in the finest of work. 2 kills already, killing Rhydon and Audino. We do have an ability. He's going to send out this Reuniclus here, which is going to pick up this Wish, I believe, in another turn. We haven't seen much from this Reuniclus yet, so I don't know much about it. Is it worth me letting Conk go down to knock off here? Is that a good play? Is that my play right now? Or do I just safely go... Hold on, let's think about this. What does Cyborg do for me at this point? Probably not a whole lot. Cyborg doesn't do that much for me. It can handle Amoonguss, which is nice. But really, does that matter? Does it matter if I handle Amoonguss with Cyborg? Cyborg handles Reuniclus, it doesn't, it gets destroyed by Weavile. And Cyborg gets destroyed by Manaphy. So Cyborg is our weakest link here. We're going to Cyborg. It's our weakest link at this point. We're going to play smart here. Hercules has too much value right now to let it go down. And while Cyborg can hit this thing really hard, I also do have Mega Metagross that can hit this thing pretty hard. And we'll see what he's going to do here. He's gonna go for the substitute, so he's sub Reuniclus. Yikes. And he's gonna get this wish, I'm assuming. Yes, okay. Well, at least I can break his sub here. So he's sub and psychic. Very scary. But I could break his sub with a shadow punch. And we are gonna break his sub. And we have Kecleon too, which can come in here after this. Fire for knockoff if I want to. He's going for the psychic. This should kill us, just based on the damage from before, because of those crits. He does kill us, so Reuniclus does take us out. Kills, what is the thing called? Golurk with psychic. So that's all we've really seen so far. Do I think I go into Sheik right here and fire off a knockoff? I really do, because I also have Shadow Sneak as well. He can't set up a sub against us, which I think is very important, and he can't use Psyche against us if I do that. Now, he could actually show the Focus Blast here, so maybe I should scout for the Focus Blast with a Shadow Sneak first. In fact, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna scout for the Focus Blast with Shadow Sneak and see what he wants to do here. I want to see what he's going to do. Because if he sets up a sub after my Shadow Sneak, then I just break it. I imagine this is going to do a decent amount to him. This is Life Orb boosted, max attack. I want to go into Ghost type here to see if he does have the Focus Blast or not. A lot of our Unicluses do carry it, and that's going to do about 50%. So I hope he goes for Focus Blast here. That would be perfect. He does have the Focus Blast. Perfect! Played, baby. That was a perfect read. Not bad at all. That works out very nicely. And I am free to either Shadow Sneak and kill this thing, or knock off and risk the Colbur Berry, which is what I've been expecting this entire time. I don't really lose anything by Shadow Sneaking here. I really don't. I can either kill this thing, which I think is one of his win cons, but the knockoff would be great to catch the Amoonguss, but if Amoonguss comes in, I knock off anyway on that thing. It's not a big deal. If Manaphy comes in, I can Sucker Punch it and do a tremendous amount of damage to it, or knock it off as well. Weavile is not coming in, and I'm not that concerned about Weavile at this point. I do think my safe and smart play here is to Shadow Sneak. Although I could go for my rocks here, but I don't feel like that's a smart move. I feel like he's Colbur Berry. Let me do a calc. Let's do a calc here based on that damage. Reuniclus, we'll say he's offensive, which is what I've kind of anticipated him to be. That Shadow Sneak did about 40%. It looked like it might have been a higher roll. If he is Colbur, knockoff does about 45%. I do actually think a knockoff will knock him out from this range, even if he is the Colbur Berry. So I'm gonna go for it. He's gonna switch, so we're gonna get rid of an item on something. And it's gonna be the Amoonguss's item, it looks like, which is very nice. Here comes the Amoonguss, and he's gonna lose his item on whatever this Amoonguss has. And my Sleep Fodder is my Kecleon. That does so much damage. My goodness, that was an Assault Vest. Wow. And he lost his Assault Vest. So I know he has to attack me. He doesn't have Spore. He was AV Amoonguss. So that means he's HP Fire, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, something else. I can probably Sucker Punch here and knock him out. Based on that damage, Sucker Punch does knock him out. And actually knockoff probably does too based on that damage, because knockoff is what, base 65 when there's no item? Let's check this. Amoonguss, he was Assault Vest. Assault Vest Amoonguss, that's very strange. I wonder what he was trying to check with that. I guess that's not that non-standard. Knockoff does kill from here. I'm pretty free to just do it again, and I should outspeed without a problem. We're going for knockoff. He's gonna stay in, this should knock him out. He doesn't have an item, and it does knock him out. Yo, Sheik! So Kecleon kills Amoonguss with knockoff, and Amoonguss goes down, and he is down to just Hard Body, Manaphy, and Weavile. In comes the Weavile. Now, he could Shadow Sneak us. I do have priority, which is nice, but I do think my smartest play here is to go into our Vaporeon, which is our check to this thing. Now, Vaporeon could result in his Manaphy coming out, which I do have to be very careful of. But Raikou outspeeds and beats the Manaphy. So I think we're in pretty good shape here. He's gonna go for his Icicle Crash, which I eat up because I am a Vaporeon, so I'm not even worried about that. We're gonna eat that up. Now, I do feel like he's gonna go into Manaphy. He has to go into Manaphy here. Do I switch to take on Manaphy? It's a little risky. It is a little risky to switch. The Heal Bell would be nice to heal up my Conk's paralysis, because that'll allow me to outspeed the Reuniclus with Conk. Although I do feel like I do feel like Raikou just puts in the work. If I Scald here, he can't go into Reuniclus, he can go into Manaphy. His switch to Manaphy is very, very obvious, but I don't know if there's anything I can switch in right now that's safe to go in against Manaphy, except for zDrive, which has what? I have Zen Headbutt on zDrive. Do I think it's worth taking that chance here? I don't want that Manaphy to get a Tail Glow up. I don't, because he's got lefties. Could have some special defense investment. Do I feel like zDrive's my play? Let's do it. He switched. He went into Manaphy, didn't he? Yes. Perfect. He went into Manaphy. And Manaphy is frozen. Unfortunately for Manaphy, he is frozen. I'm going into Metagross here. We're clicking Zen Headbutt, dude. And this is going to put a dent in something on his team. And he cannot go into Zen. He cannot go into a Weavile. He cannot go into the Weavile. So let me just calc this. But he's Manaphy with lefties. Zen Headbutt is a 2-hit KO, so I'm going for it. Let's do it. We could get a flinch too, and he is still frozen. We are faster. He's gonna switch. He might go into the Weavile. He went into Hard Body, but this thing isn't taking 2 hits though. He's gonna take the Zen Headbutt, but he's not taking 2 hits. Wow, he almost goes down to that too. I just click Bullet Punch here and kill him, or Earthquake. Earthquake kills him too. Let's go for Earthquake. There's really no reason not to. zDrive picking up his 21st kill this season. So Metagross kills Reuniclus with EQ. His last 2 are Manaphy, which is frozen, which is very unfortunate. That freeze has been really, really unfortunate. And then, of course, here is his Weavile. I'm clicking Bullet Punch to kill this thing. I don't know if it will. It's close. He might have a Babiri Berry, but Bullet Punch has a chance to kill. The calc says 95 to 113. If he has a berry, he has a berry. There's nothing I can do about it. I will take my chances here, though. We do have priority on Kecleon as well, and we have Vaporeon, which is a very reliable answer to Weavile. I also have Raikou to handle his Manaphy. So I know he doesn't have the Walking Berry. So I'm going for the Bullet Punch. If it kills, awesome. If not, if he has the Babiri Berry, he does. He doesn't have the Babiri Berry. There's a chance to kill here. Oh, he lives it. He's Sash Weavile. Now the question is, does he actually beat it? He's got counter Sash Weavile. Not bad, dude. Good job, Joey. Nice plays, dude. Seriously, nice plays. So Weavile kills Metagross with counter. And losing Metagross is definitely kind of unfortunate. I'm not gonna lie. I do have Sheik though, and I think Sheik can come in here and I could Shadow Sneak. And if he Ice Shards, I think I can live one. I feel pretty comfortable that I could live one. He's not Life Orb boosted, so I think I can live one. So I'm gonna go for the Shadow Sneak, and we'll see what he's gonna do. He doesn't even have anything. I should get up my rocks, is really what I need to do. He's gonna switch into Manaphy. I wish I knocked off, but I never thought that was gonna be a thing. So see how much this does. A decent amount. I'm gonna go for rocks here. If he breaks out of the freeze, then he breaks out of the freeze. You know what I mean? If he Tail Glows up, I still have Raikou, and I still have priority. So let's go for Stealth Rocks. That'll eliminate. He does thaw out. He goes for the Surf. He's gonna knock us out here. But what that does is it makes it so Weavile. Well, Weavile's at 1%. Manaphy is sitting pretty good, but I have Raikou here. And Raikou, I'm gonna Volt Switch with Raikou here. No, I'm gonna Thunderbolt, dude. I'm gonna Thunderbolt with Raikou. There's no reason not to. So he kills Manaphy, kills Kecleon with Surf. And I think I just click Thunderbolt here. It might not kill, but it's gonna do a lot. It's gonna do a lot, and I can live any hit because I am Assault Vest. See how much this does. Doesn't kill him. He's gonna go for Surf. I'm AV though. I'm living this all day. We're gonna eat that up. I think that's gonna be GG. Weavile can't beat Vaporeon, so I think we're good. And I still have priority with Conk. I'm gonna click Thunderbolt again. I think Raikou's gonna pick up this kill here. Yes, it is. So Raikou kills Manaphy with T-Bolts. I thought he would run Wackenberry, but since I saw the lefties, I knew I was safe there. that freeze on the Manaphy was very unfortunate. I do feel like I had the proper checks to it. I had a lot of priority on my team. I had Conk with priority, Kecleon with priority, I had Bullet Punch on Gross. Gross and Raikou both outsped the Manaphy. I was Assault Vest Raikou. I really don't... I mean, the freeze stinks, and I will definitely apologize to Joey on Skype as soon as this match is over about the freeze. I never want to hacks anyone. Definitely unfortunate. He got that big crit on Conk, or Golurk at the beginning. But at the end of the day, I do feel like we had the answers to Manaphy, knowing that he was leftovers. He could have gotten a tail glow, but again, I did have some answers for it. I had a lot of priority in my team. I do feel like we could have handled it. I hope he just goes for knockoff here. Because if he does, then he dies to Rocky Helmet, which is what Vaporeon's rocking. My switch to Vaporeon here is my switch. If he pursuits, oh my goodness. Well, he's not going to pursue. He loses if he pursuits, so there's no reason to. Counter Focus Sash Weavile. Very interesting. I'm hoping he just knockoffs here. I do still have priority on Conk, so my plan here is to go into Vaporeon. If he doesn't, if I have an opportunity, I'll Heal Bell. Conk won't be paralyzed. I Mach Punch. I win. He is going to go for the knockoff, and that's going to be the game. He's going to die to Rocky Helmet damage from Vaporeon. Vaporeon's going to pick up this kill, and the St. Louis Rampardos, baby, move to 9-1 and take down Joey PokeaimMD and the Bronx Beartics. Please, guys, do me a favor and go check out Joey's channel. I look up to Joey as being the best battler in the community, and in his defense, I feel like I had a very good matchup against him on paper, and he had a big hill to climb to try to beat out of that, and I think he played really well, and I did get that unfortunate freeze, but I'm really stoked that the Rampardos are able to get through what I consider to be one of our toughest opponents this season and move to 9-1 through our first 10 games. We are 2/3 of the way through the season, and we are sole holders of first place, guys. I'm very, very excited. Don't forget our question of the day. Please leave a like rating if you enjoyed this battle. I really did. I'm always excited to come up with a nice 3-0 win, especially against someone of his caliber, guys. I can't emphasize enough how much respect I have for Joey as just a content maker in general, and he's just a really cool guy. He's probably one of the nicest guys I've met doing this YouTube thing. So that was really, really cool, and it would be tremendous honor for me to rematch Joey in the playoffs, so I really hope we get that opportunity to play again in the playoffs in the UCL and perhaps in future leagues. Guys, my name is Dan. I also go by aDrive. I hope you guys did enjoy this match. I will catch you guys later. St. Louis Rampardos head smashing their way to 9-1 in the UCL. Peace.